Welcome back to Open Contact TV. We decided that we would make a quick little video to tell you about something that happened the other night.
Also has to do with a little bit of following the open protocols of open contact.
And certainly has to do with open contact protocol, first contact protocol. So on May 4th, the CE5 people got together to have a meditation and look up to the stars and have an intentional communication with ETs and higher dimensional beings, and there was a live event which we watched for a while, and
People were participating from all over the world.
it was a global event.
Yes, global event. Thank you.
But it was also a day that was designed for people all over the world to do it individually. So groups of people individually were doing this also, not only participating in the live event.
Yes. It was May the 4th be with you.
So we did want to report that sometime during that event, we decided that we would go outside in the backyard and intentionally ask to connect and see some kind of response. So moments later, after we did that, we saw some kind of response.
Yes, we did. It didn't take long.
It was literally moments.
It was minutes, yeah.
And what we saw, what we both saw right above our house,
and yet it seemed so close.
it was high in the sky, but right above us, basically a meteor breaking up, and it was quite slow. So a lot of times you see, shooting stars or even meteors, and they go, whoosh. Well, this was
very slow.
Breaking up and traveling across the sky right above our house, and then disappeared because it probably finished burning up. So it wasn't a UFO.
Well,
in the sense of what it,
I actually felt
appearance.
more like it was more of a light being, more of of some kind of a higher dimensional being revealing itself. Right. That's really the feeling I was getting in that moment was, hello, I'm here.
And that's really what it's all about. How these things manifest. Don't put those things you're looking for in a tiny little box that only certain things can be meaningful to you. So, yeah, it would have been cool to have, an obvious craft hover over our house and, shoot a light down and come and visit. But even a shooting star, blinking lights, orbs, flashes, any kind of thing that your belief system is ready to allow in is going to happen, and don't discount those as not being contact. And we sort of make fun of the idea, but even airplanes that are obviously jets flying over, when they happen at just the right time, in the right moment, in the right place, what's the difference? Because we're creating all of this ourselves
anyway. It's all in our imagination anyway.
So, and Wendy wanted to also make sure that I mentioned about the idea of what we've also been going through and are going to continue doing videos on about the first contact protocol. And part of the protocols involve the idea that a sighting might occur or information might come through in certain ways, and part of the contact protocol is observing the reaction. So we think it's very important for everyone that not only should you not get scared and run away if you think you see a UFO or an ET running around your backyard, but what are you going to do with the information that you have? What are you going to do with the fact that you saw something? Are you going to pretend you didn't see it? Are you going to not tell anybody? Or do you want open contact where these things are openly discussed? You're not hiding from it. You're not pretending
Yes.
they didn't happen. You're not afraid of what your neighbors might say. So we thought it was important to make a video to just tell everyone what we saw and share our excitement in the idea that, I mean, we were watching this thing. We went outside and said, you know, we welcome you to show
and we
yourselves.
literally like kind of said it out loud,
Yeah.
and I said it out loud. It's like, hello, welcome. We're eager to meet you and would love to see some sign of a reaction from you that we're initiating contact and looking for some type of a response. And
So, and the only other thing I really wanted to mention was with the CE5, they have developed protocols that are based on sort of scientific related concepts, spiritual based concepts, and they're great. But you could just go outside and from your heart ask
yes,
to see,
ask and connect
and invite the higher dimensional beings to come visit. And that's really what they are, because you could call them ETs, but they're all higher frequency, higher dimensional beings, and sometimes they have to meet us halfway. So in the way that they meet us halfway, it might not be a ship. It could be a shooting star. It could be just lights moving in the sky. It could be something out of the corner of your eye that you think you saw.
Exactly. That was one of the things that I think struck me most interesting with the CE5 live broadcast were that they had people from all over the world in the Zoom room explaining their own experiences, but not just explaining them, but providing videos. Every single person that we saw while we were watching it were providing videos of their own contact experiences. And what's interesting is how different they all were. And yet how each person knew without a shadow of a doubt, because of how they felt, they could feel it. And sometimes they even were, you could easily explain these lights away. But it's a connection that you feel. And
when you feel the connection,
then you know
that's what it is. And it doesn't really matter if you could explain it as, an airplane or, a missile test or whatever ridiculous things that people want to use to explain it away. If you know what you're looking at, then that's what it is.
Well, and I'm reminded right now too that first contact, open contact, is a vibration. So it's its own universe. It's its own vibration. So if you vibrate in the frequency of open contact, then you'll receive reflections back from your own universe, and this is just physics, that you will automatically see reflections back of that nature because you're in that frequency. And one thing that Dave and I were discussing earlier and reminded about several times in these last few days, especially things that we've been watching, old stuff too, is we've got to meet them as equals. And until we see them as equals and not better than us, higher than us, hierarchical speaking, until we literally can meet them as equals, they can't even meet us halfway. So they don't want to be idolized. They don't want to be followed. That's not what this is about. It's about mutual, respective contact. And I don't know if there's anything you want to elaborate on that, but that was just what I was feeling also.
They're not here to save our world.
No.
Maybe we're here to save their world. Think about that.
Well, That's a pretty well, and that's pretty much how our story began. Our human story was saving another world, saving another race of beings from extinction. So that, my friends, is a whole different story.
And until next time, thank you for watching, thank you for sharing, thank you for this co-creation, and we'll be back with more Open Contact TV.
Shivai.